After 8 long months of waiting, we're finally back at the Stanley Cup Final. Down to 2 teams. Welcome back. That's Last Man In Podcast, episode number 45. And we are very close to being here for a year. 3 weeks away.
3 weeks? Indeed.
And then we'll do this for a year. That's a lot of hours we've spent in this room doing this podcast.
Yeah.
That's like 40...
At least 45 hours worth of stuff, because I know with the X, some we were short, but most...
What can you do in 45 hours?
A lot. That's
learn a language, probably, or like basic language.
It's a lot of porn.
Lots of porn.
That's probably an entire TV series.
You know what? I bet you that's the equivalent that I've spent at the gym since I started going to the gym.
It's the equivalent that I play hockey every week.
45 hours.
No, I'm trying. That's almost 7 hours a day.
Greg is a KHL, AHL, and NHL coach.
Apparently.
Same time.
So today is a very special episode, not just because we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup Final, but also we are going to do our final show with Cam for about a month.
3 weeks, actually.
Leaving.
3 weeks.
I come back June 30th.
So what's happening is we're actually tendering out his contract to other people.
We're sending him down to the farm system for some conditioning, and
we've had some complaints from up top.
He can't wear his Flyers gear anymore. That's definitely like the biggest complaint that everyone has.
Until he shaves his beard, we won't let him back on the podcast.
That's going to be July 14th is when
it's too nice of a beard, though.
I'm going 100 days. I'll give the updates.
It's nicer than mine. It's embarrassing.
It's a lot nicer than mine.
Is what it is. It's super easy.
It's kind of like you as a kid.
Neglect, yeah.
Yeah, just let it do its thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's how you build a Flyers fan. Neglect. Usually there's a...
You know how you build a Toronto fan?
How's that?
Disappointment. Hey, Greg, guess what? We're going to the park today. We're going to the park today. Really, Dad? No. Okay.
Hey, no, we're going to go to the park, but you know what? After, we're going to get ice cream. Do you want ice cream? Yeah, I'm getting ice cream. You're going to watch me get it. And then I'm going to drop and be like, I dropped my ice cream. I dropped that Eddie Murphy bit. That's great. If you've ever seen it. Yeah. I got my ice cream, and you can't have it. You can't afford it. And then he goes to lick it, like, pantomimes that the whole drop fell on the ground. And then it's just like, you dropped your ice cream, and you can't afford it. But I'm going to have it. It's real weird. But,
of course.
Yeah, I'll be going on tour out west for the next 21 days starting next Tuesday.
Good old West.
So don't worry, you're not only going to hear mine and Dan's voice, you're going to hear
silence
a few
from Cam's end of the table.
A few guests and a few like a new person who's supposed to be here today, but couldn't end up
yes, we've had some behind the scenes stuff change recently, and we're very excited that we're going to be bringing in a 4th member into our group. And he's going to be our stats guy because he's listened to the podcast, I think, every single one.
Pretty much, I believe.
But we can't tell you who he is.
No,
he's going to be on it, and you have to guess.
It's silence.
He's going to be on the podcast. We're not going to tell you who he is ever. You have to guess.
Yeah. And when you guess properly, we kill him and we get a new one.
Yeah. We're just going to interchange.
Death, blood, betrayal. Last man.
No, so we're going to bring him in. He's brought it to our attention that we're not the fastest on stats. Like last week when we were discussing who went 5th, and he was apparently yelling that it was Luke Shen.
Who went in what draft, though?
2008. Luke
so
Shen
it
went
was,
5th.
Hold on, so let's just...
Oh, God,
no. We went over that.
It wasn't Luke Shen.
Yes, it was Luke Shen. Yes, we went over
Luke Shen was the same draft as Stamkos, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I'll buy that.
Stamkos, Hedman, Bogo. No. Stamkos, Hedman, Bogo, Doughty.
No, Petro.
Shen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We looked it up because you thought it was...
Either way, he suggested,
something.
while you're talking about it, because he's still going to talk, but he's going to be more of like pulling up stuff so we could be correct.
Yeah.
You know why he's on the podcast? It wasn't even that he offered the stats. When he told Cam this, Cam was like, you listen to every podcast?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's it right there.
Commitment is
the other reason why we're bringing him on is he's a huge fan of me. He's got my jersey.
He's a monster jersey fan of Greg.
Yeah,
monster fan of Greg.
Huge fan of me.
Yeah.
And if
by
no
Greg,
one
he
understands
means
that,
Jamie Ben, because
Exactly.
Jamie Ben and Greg could be doppelgangers.
well, in a
Were
past life,
doppelgangers.
in a past life.
Before Jamie Ben hit puberty, he was doppelgangers.
And unfortunately, I'm still stuck in that weird, awkward stage that most 16-year-olds are stuck in, except I'm 24.
It's all right. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm still stuck in it height-wise. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Except you can grow facial hair.
I'm past it. So.
This is like 5 days, guys. And it's still not
This
This is like 5
This
days.
is, I think, 45, 46.
You know what? I fucking hate both of you.
Why?
Because you can grow facial hair.
No, it's a curse.
There's two things
There's
I
a
want in
lot
life.
of sometimes you like
It's
sure.
not a curse. I like it.
Yeah, no.
There's two things I want. It's to grow a beard
Okay.
and to have different colored eyes of brown. And both things I cannot have.
Why would you want different? That's
Those
a
are
real,
the two things you
I
want
was
most
really
in the world.
expecting Greg to go like, "There's two things I want: to grow facial hair and to just slay the ladies,
That's
have a woman to bed
No,
at night."
because I'll tell you why.
Go.
Most of the time, guys with like different colored eyes, girls are they notice it right away. I have friends with a lot of girls, they tell me. And
Okay.
beards, apparently beards are in right now, so girls are loving the beard. So then, if I had those two things, then I would slay the ladies.
Okay, this is a reference you
no,
will
you're
not
missing the third
understand.
thing.
Oh, go.
The man bun.
No,
Oh, the
no,
man bun
never
as
wearing
well.
the man bun.
No?
No.
Never.
Well,
Looks dumb.
Before
You
you
look
brought in
silly.
I agree with you.
You look
yeah,
silly.
I agree. Before you brought in the man bun, basically what you're telling me is women are into Roman Reigns. And what
Yes.
Roman Reigns looks like. Roman Reigns is a professional wrestler. He's awesome.
Mhm.
And you can believe that.
Other thing. We have hockey to talk
We
about.
do.
So, we had 2 Game 7s.
We did.
First time, only third time in NHL history that the conference finals were both went into Game 7 at
Oh,
the same
really?
time.
When was
Yeah.
the last time?
2000, and then before that it was 1968.
Holy moly.
Holy.
Yeah, Greg
I thought it
looked
would've
stuff
been-
up. Just kidding, I saw it on the TV.
I
Thanks,
thought it would've
Greg.
been-
That's
Thanks, NBC.
Woo! I thought it would have been a lot more common than that.
1968, man.
Who was 2000?
Wait, who was in? Yeah, no, let's.
2000 would have been
New Jersey versus
Colorado,
someone and
Detroit.
Dallas
It was
versus
New
someone.
Jersey. It was. Well, no, yeah. So
This is where our
Dallas,
stats guy would be perfect.
Yeah.
Dallas played Colorado, and I think New Jersey played.
Pittsburgh.
Detroit.
No.
Oh no, right.
No, not
Stupid
Detroit.
idiot.
Maybe
That's-
Detroit.
no, because
Oh, Detroit was west. Oh.
That's why I said I'm an idiot.
Maybe.
I'm going on the old-fashioned stats machine, aka Google.
Okay. Well, while
Lugal.
you
Make sure.
Lugal.
Lugal.
while you find that, that's crazy. That
Yeah.
only the third time. I didn't know that. That's awesome. We got our money's worth. Did you know
See,
that?
one game was good, the other was a stinker.
Well, are we gonna start with East or West first?
Eastern bias.
Okay, that's fine. Bishop is became the first goalie to record shutouts in his first 2 Game 7s.
Did you also know that that was the first time New York lost in a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden?
Ever? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
MSG, right. Holy
New
smokes.
Jersey beat Philly 4-3, and
Come on!
yeah, Cam.
You're a Philly fan. You
Da-
should know that.
Dallas beat Colorado 4-3.
You know what's
Oh.
funny? As you said that, you're like New Jersey beat, and I'm like, God damn it, it's Philly. And what's weird about that was I was looking at like the last couple of times you've been in conference finals.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Who was on that team? Like Mark Recchi, John LeClaire,
Lindros,
Lindros. They had a
Brindamore.
I'm
probably
pretty
was
sure that Lindros dragged most of those guys there because he was so
on
good
there.
that
Yeah,
year.
he's an animal. That's
Yeah.
what he
Did they have James Van Beesbrook in that? Or was it Roman Czechmanek?
I think it was Czechmanek.
Czechmanek, greatest
Czechmanek,
name.
I believe
Greatest
Czechmanek
goalie
holds
name
the record, or he's second. He's in the top 3 of longest shutout streak. And it was like 5 or 6 games
Wow.
worth. It was crazy. Because I remember looking at him like, well, I'm a Czechmanek. Are you kidding me? Like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh, go ahead.
Just a fun fact about that series, the Stanley Cup Final that year, was New Jersey Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas won Game 5 in triple overtime to stay alive. New Jersey won Game 6 in double overtime to win the Stanley Cup.
Nice. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hockey. That's a lot of free hockey.
We didn't get our wish in Game 7 with Anaheim.
Which was
No.
overtime?
7 overtimes. There wasn't even one.
Oh, yeah.
Anaheim didn't even show up for a
Well,
period.
I was
for
wrong
a
with-
period.
I was-
for a period.
I was wrong with my Tampa prediction of Brendan Morrow 3-2 or 3-1, 5 minutes left.
Well, I don't
they
think
ended up-
anyone would have thought that New York would get shut out at home in Game 7.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, can you name the teams that Tampa beat to get there?
All original 6.
Isn't that
They
weird?
would be the first team.
They are
in
the
any-
first team.
Well,
but
no, they'd be the first team in NHL history to be all original 6 teams to win the cup.
I didn't even
Wouldn't
think
that
of
be
I didn't
crazy?
even think
that's awesome. I hope it happens.
Me too.
That'd be sweet.
Why not?
Yeah.
And for those who are wondering who the original 6 teams are, you're listening to a hockey podcast,
a podcast.
a podcast. You should know it.
But if you don't,
I'm
go.
not gonna. No,
Who's the original 6, Greg?
it's
That's
easy.
not nice.
Boston, New York, Detroit, Chicago, Toronto, Montreal.
Nice. I like
I
it. I was like,
paused for a
are you
second.
kidding me right now? You know what a tougher one is, which I can't name all of them?
The next 6.
That's tough.
That's Vancouver, St. Louis, Kansas City,
I think
Philadelphia,
it's
Pittsburgh.
And did you say St. Louis?
Yeah, I did.
I think California Golden Seals were in
California? Was it Kansas City Scouts and California Golden Seals?
I'm not sure what
Or
Kansas City. I know
it was
Golden Seals.
Or it was the Colorado Rockies. It was one of
Maybe
those
it's
like
Colorado.
older teams.
Yeah. But
The next 6 is a little bit harder, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's
and then
this
after
is
that,
once again where this new guy would come in and
Yeah.
he'd be like, "Hey, the next 6 was blah blah."
But
Clearly, his priorities are already in the wrong place.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, well he's
Not-
playing
not
hockey
com-
right
yeah,
now.
what a
Yeah,
dick.
how dare he?
I don't know.
As this series came to a close, like Bolts and Rangers, everyone's favorite time, not really favorite time, I shouldn't say that, but you find out who was hurt and what happened.
God.
Ryan McDonough had a broken foot. He's playing with for a couple of games, so probably happening in 2 or 3. And we found out the reason why Matt Hansen Zuccarello was not playing since April 24th. Did you hear what
Yes.
happened?
Oh, I heard.
He had he had a hairline fracture of the skull, which is, what's that called? A brain contusion, which he suffered off of Ryan McDonough slap shot April 24th. And he said he lost feeling in his arm and he couldn't talk for 4 days.
Yeah.
What? You just do it. Let her loose, Dan. Let her
Yeah.
loose.
You're just gonna pour
He's
water.
trying to
That's
pour
fine.
water. Yeah, that's
fine.
right.
Yeah. I heard about this probably 2 weeks ago,
Oh, really?
2 or 3 weeks ago that he had lost.
Feeling?
Well, what it was just reports. Like nobody knew for sure. It was just speculation that he wasn't able to talk after it. But holy smokes! Now that everything's coming out and it's true, it's pretty scary. It's crazy to think that he'll probably be playing again next year once October comes around. That just shows you the kind of player he is and kind of way hockey players think. But I heard it on the radio today. Down Goes Brown on Twitter. He was on TSN 1290 and he was saying how people are just starting to get their heads around concussions, and then this thing comes out.
Yeah, that they were like, oh, why isn't he playing? And then, like, I was wondering, why isn't he playing? It's not like, I know they're not benching him because he's good.
Yeah.
And then it's brain. I found out today, like, when I was getting notes for the podcast with Dan, I'm like, what? He had a brain contusion.
Yeah.
Fractured skull? Holy.
That's scary.
That's terrifying. You
could.
could, I mean, anything can
Well,
possibly
anything can
die, but,
happen.
like, that's that's up there.
You can
That's
definitely die from that.
Or you could have been paralyzed, or anything could happen. He could have part of his brain.
Imagine
He
not
could
being
have
able
never.
to talk.
He could have never been able to.
Yeah,
Or
imagine
lose
not
feeling
being able to
somewhere
talk
or something.
Yeah, or like lose like a
Scary.
ghost limb. You know what I read about? What was it called? It was people who you know how like some people are born like you feel as if you're a girl. Caitlyn Jenner. Just we're gonna bring it up. Just no, I'm not trying to do this.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
right now it's relevant. So Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner, felt like she was born into the wrong body, and so now she's transforming into the original body, which would be a girl. There's people who feel as like they have fully normally working like arms and legs and stuff, but they physically like
Can't move him.
no they feel like it's not a part of them, so they give themselves they cause harm to themselves to the point where they make themselves paralyzed, or like they get rid of an arm or a leg because they feel it's not a part of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
So
they just like what the one story that popped up on like the Reddit feed that I was reading about. The guy dropped like a 200-pound cinder block on his shoulder, and then it was so bad that they couldn't repair it, so they had to amputate the arm, and now he feels at ease.
Because
Yeah.
it's just like, it's one of those things where you don't know what's going on.
No, they had fully functioning. It just felt like it wasn't a part of them, and they wanted to be disabled. Now, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, and Greg right now can't believe me. It's real.
No,
it's like,
No, I believe
It's
you.
just-
It's making me cringe.
yeah, it's just, Yeah, that's terrifying. That's
crazy.
terrifying. That how do we get on? Oh yeah, right. Matt
What are
Hansen,
we talking about?
Matt Hansen,
Oh, man.
Zuccarello. That'd be terrifying. Just even imagine in beer league, you get hit the wrong way, and suddenly you can't feel your left foot.
Well, like it's even when you think
nothing
about it,
you
like
can
it could be
prepare for,
it's kind of like what happened to Mason Raymond. Obviously, he's made a full recovery, but you saw like the way he went to the boards against Boston there in Game 6.
He crumpled. He kissed his own
Stanley
toes.
Cup Finals. Yeah,
and he was going fast.
Exactly. And just something like that screwed up his spine for a good probably couple of years. And luckily he's okay now and he's playing good hockey, but I'm just saying that. Yeah.
I remember
he
was,
went
back
into
of
the corner boards and just went like butt first, but his back fully like extended over himself.
Ew.
It was kind of
it was rough.
messed.
Yes.
It's weird.
Just takes one.
Well, Nathan Horton.
What happened to Nathan? Well, I know he's injured, obviously.
Yeah,
but, like,
well,
did
is that... I'm pretty sure that's from the Aaron Rome hit in that series in Game 3.
No, he has a degenerative back problem.
Is
but
that what it
maybe
is?
they found it because of? Or no?
Well, no, he
Maybe
got a
not.
concussion from that play. I thought it had something to do with
No, he's
that
not
hit.
a degenerate. He's got a bag of disc, like of his back, like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but
he
still,
physically
that's...
can't get out of bed some days.
Yeah.
That's like Johan Franzen saying he can't even like do some certain things because of like brain injuries. Like Chris Pronger.
He's that bad.
Doesn't remember his kids' names sometimes.
Steve Monitor just.
Yeah, it's
Sudden death.
crazy.
But now they're bringing it to light that this is a huge issue.
Well,
in all
more
of
and
sport,
more,
not just hockey.
more and more enforcers are coming out and saying the issues they've had to deal with post hockey, like since they've gotten out of the NHL. Like a lot of people have come out and they've talked about it, and it's not being shoved behind a curtain anymore. The curtain's being pulled back, and everyone's talking now.
Yeah,
and it's
Which is what
becoming
you
a
want.
huge issue, which is crazy when you think about it. Because think 25 years ago, there were still players in the NHL who weren't wearing helmets.
I don't know.
And think where we are now.
I don't know if you guys have seen. Daniel Carcillo did just like an interview about Steve Monitor after he passed away.
Okay.
About because they were very, very good friends, I guess. And I have no sympathy for Carcillo as a player because he's kind of an asshole. Sorry, he's a major asshole.
But you're talking to him as a human right now.
He's talking about how his friend basically was like the happy, cheery guy all the time, and then one day he wasn't himself anymore, and that's just who he was, because of all, and it's because of all like it's come out that he died because of CTE, which is essentially just excessive brain damage that just caused you to he didn't die from a concussion, but he died because of all the damage that had been done to him over the years.
Wow.
And I mean,
scary.
like his brother even said, two Christmases before he died, that he knew he was going to die young because he completely changed. He wasn't to say that he was depressed. He wasn't the same person anymore. But this interview with Carcillo basically says that, because he admits that he's been in rehab, he's been, all this kind of stuff. But he basically says, once you're out of the game, there's nothing for you. Like there's no support from the NHL. There's no one checks on you to make sure you're doing okay. No one gets you the help you need. So he basically said, once you're gone, you're
garbage to them. You're trash.
Essentially, once you've made them their money,
He's saying once you're gone, they wipe their hands of you. That you're not their problem anymore.
Yeah.
So if you can find the video, I don't know where it was, but it was
essentially you're a puppet for. Not like this is obviously taking it to the extreme, but you're a puppet, and once you're done, they cut off the strings and they don't care what happens to you ever after that, right? And that's the depressing part about sport is that, these guys have such a short window, and that's why so many people complain they make tons of money. Whatever. So what? They make $7 million a season. Okay, that's fine. They're the best of the best in the world, and they have such a short window to do it in. It's not like a hockey coach where they have probably 30, 40 years. Most NHL careers last maybe 5 years.
And you have to factor in those guys aren't the guys making $7 million. Those
Exactly.
guys are making, on average, probably about $2 to $4 million.
Exactly. So, there are the careers that last 15 years and 20 years, but those are the rarities. Those are the...
We can even, if we're talking about it, we can even talk about one of our favorite, allegedly, broadcasters, how his career ended quite abruptly. Nick Kyprios. Have you ever seen a video of how he ended? I don't know. He was fighting. He got knocked out, and he started bleeding out. It was Whoa, that one I've only seen 3 or 4. I can't watch that.
It's
one.
a tough one to
No
watch.
one's. I mean, Sidney Crosby is one hit away from never playing hockey again.
We've
very
talked
true.
about it. Sidney Crosby. We as a society have been robbed of Sidney Crosby for almost 2 years worth of hockey, which right in his prime. Like he's still in it, but like imagine that's like again we've talked about this before. Mario Lemieux with his injuries and cancer, and Jaromir Jagr just leaving. If we had them the whole time, mama, I would love to see them.
You have to think about their safety too.
We're not saying anything, but it's disappointing that injury plays such a big factor in the sport that we love, and unfortunately, it's just one of the things that happens. And
that's the nature of the game. You're gonna get
hit. And obviously, you want the injuries to be non-severe, kind of like just a broken ankle, which a lot of people experience over the course of their life. You probably know somebody who's broken an ankle. That happens naturally, or not naturally, but it happens. It's not something with like a brain contusion. Like that's a rarity.
That's like you have to have a rough fall or real bad accident to get that.
What you don't want to see these, and unfortunately it happens. And I wish we saw more ankle sprains and broken ankles versus this. And I really want this to. They need to develop, and honestly, hockey companies, CCM, Bowers, they need to work hard instead of developing a lighter, faster, better stick. They need to develop a more safe helmet. I think that should be number one in their minds. And I know they have
to wear their helmets tight.
Yeah, that's
half these guys have helmets that you can rip that guy's helmet off.
Yeah.
But and that's if you fall, that's not doing anything.
No, that's true. It's the chin strap too, right? Like it should be done up pretty
tight. And
pretty
half
tight.
These guys, it's hanging by a thread.
You run tooth fingers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I remember for hockey and lacrosse when we were all younger, there was like a 2-finger rule because I got called for it once because it was 3. You
gotta protect yourself at all facets of the game.
You're never gonna take injuries out of the game as long as you're protecting your players and you're giving them the help that they need. That's what's important.
And you have to take the precautions. And I think that
absolutely.
The NHL does have to look at something and figuring out what they're going to do with their players when they leave hockey, because it's just a reality that maybe there should be a post-play care thing that players can go through. They can still use the resources the NHL has. Because it's not like some of them, I'm sure they're short of money, but a lot of these guys have the money that they could probably seek the help if the resources were there, but some of them don't know how to go about it. And if even they got a little bit of guidance from, NHL execs or whatever it is, then they'd be able to maybe seek the help they can get. And, stories like Steve Monador and Derek Bugard, and these stories become more and more rare instead of more and more common. I think that we need to trend towards them being rare, but we're trending towards them being more common, which is the scary thought.
I just want to throw something. This is far out. Well, I mean, it's related, but it's the WWE, which is professional wrestling. They will pay... Say a wrestler who no longer is retired, needs rehab, drug rehab, alcohol rehab, anything like that.
Yep.
They will pay and fully endorse the entire thing for them, which I think is awesome.
That's just one of those. It's an insurance thing almost.
And some people don't know where to go, don't have the money, don't know what to do. And if your old employer is going to say, you worked for us for 20 years, this is our way of saying,
thanks.
We'd
rather have you around than never have you.
And that's what most sports need to adopt. They take a genuine interest in their players. I understand it's hard to cover everyone, but
Kay, I'll just put this out there. Obviously, it's an extreme case, but what if Mario Lemieux was going through kind of what Steve Monador went through, or what Daniel Carcillo's going through, anything like that? I think once you get a big name like that, and it sounds terrible, but it's probably what's going to take it to change it. Because, no offense to, the Daniel Carcillos, Steve Monadors, those players of the world.
They're a dime a dozen.
But they're a dime a dozen to the NHL. Mm-hmm. Guys like Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, potentially Connor McDavid or Jack Eichel, Alexander Ovechkin. Those guys, they only come around every once in a while. And if just start hearing these things that it happens even to the best of the best, you got to start taking precautions. And I think, unfortunately, that'll be the straw that breaks the camel's back for the NHL, and that is extremely sad that that'll probably be what takes it, because they should be doing preventative action right now. And they're a corporation that makes millions of billions of dollars.
And they're getting a big lawsuit now.
Yeah, and they should. And they really should.
Players who had concussions and...
You know what? And I'm totally okay with players saying, you know... I'm not okay with players saying that, you know, you should have protected me from concussions. You knew what you're getting into with the NHL. But it's the NHL's... They've got to do their due diligence to make sure you're protected as best as possible. And that you're protected in... Once you leave, too. You know, it shouldn't just be, okay, you're done, you're retired. Thanks for your millions of dollars you provided us. Because you know what? There are fans that just go to games to watch fights that, you know, love seeing a guy like Colton Orr go against a George Peros. Obviously a bad example from last year, but it happens. And people go to games to see that. And these guys do bring in revenue, you know. A lot of guys have Chris Thorburn jerseys because they like him. Us three, we've talked about how much we like Anthony Peluso, and he's a fighter. Even though I think he could be used for other things.
Well, look at my favorite fighter of all, like my favorite player of all time,
Jordan Tutu. Exactly.
I've been watching him get in fights. I've probably seen, I'll say it confidently, 100 Jordan Tutu fights in my lifetime. Probably about a third of those live. Mm-hmm. And when I'm growing up younger, that's the mentality they shot us back in the day was, oh, you got to be tough, defend yourself, fight, defend your honor, protect your teammates. Now the changing of the guard is, again, with what you said, is it has to happen to a superstar like Sidney Crosby. Did you notice ever since it did happen to Crosby, that's when things they were like, oh wait, this is actually a real big deal. And then they started caring about it.
You're 100% right. Like, and that's unfortunately what it takes sometimes. And it sucks that that's what it is.
And you don't see it when you watch TV. You don't see Jordan Tutu or Peluso or any of these guys. They play 5 minutes a game. They get in a fight, throw a couple big hits, you know, and that's pretty much what they think they're there for. But you go in the locker room, a guy who's going to stand up for you if you get a cheap shot, those are the guys that your team, I guarantee you, those are the most liked guys in the entire team.
Well, that's why Chris Thorburn been there with the Jets.
Because those, you know what, I respect those guys because, you know what, they may not be the most talented hockey players in the world. They're good, but they're not afraid to, you know, it takes a lot of balls to say, I might get knocked out in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's like, have you guys ever...
But I'm going to stand up for my teammate right now.
Exactly. Have you ever been in a situation... I've never really been in this situation. I'm just asking. Have you guys ever been in a situation where you know that you're going to have to, like, defend yourself, or you know, like, oh, at beer league, like, oh, this shift, you're like, I know I'm going to get cross-checked or something. Imagine, like every night, like going to bed knowing that your job is basically to fight someone. It's like that's got to cause some extreme, or not extreme, but that's got to cause some pretty good stress on your life, just dealing with that. And especially after the fight, dealing with the injuries, especially the fact that you just got punched in the head, like that can't be good for you at all.
Okay, yes. we should move on from this though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a topic that needs to be talked about, but we need to talk about
the current situation.
Of course. So, first and foremost, the first thing I want to get to before we talk about the Stanley Cup Final is I want to ask both of you guys, where do you think the Ducks and Rangers are going to be next year?
Is Kessler's contract up this year?
No.
If the Rangers don't win the Cup next year, I think they'd miss the boat with this team.
Okay.
That's my...
And the Ducks?
Lundqvist is getting old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got these guys right now. They sold their future for Keith Yandel.
And the Ducks?
I think the Ducks will be... I don't know where they'll be in the playoffs, but I think they'll be top of the Western Conference.
Okay.
Rangers, I'm kind of in the same boat with Dan in terms of... But Rangers have always been like that. Win now. They never really...
But I think next year's it's going to be like the Vancouver situation. They got to the final 11. They were good for several years. They got to the final. They lost. What have they been since?
I'm going to give in the back. First thing that popped in my mind when you said where the Rangers going to be, I think they're going to get bounced round one next year. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to they just have to start thinking about like, okay, maybe it's not always about win now. Maybe just start dealing with what you have, like ride out the contracts that you have, not that they're bad ones, but I think they missed their chance. I think it's already passed.
Okay.
As for the Ducks, I'll still give them another 3 years of they're going to be there. They're going to be there for the next 3 years. Whether it's, I think they'll be in the Stanley Cup Final for sure within the next 3 years. I'd like to see them win, depending on who they're playing in the East, obviously. But I'll give them 3 years of they're still in that age gap of 3 years where they got the young guys on the young contracts, and they still have the Getzlaf, Perry on their contracts.
And they have these guys that are stepping up, like Pat Maroon's on the first line.
Yes,
He's got
and
seven goals. He had 7 goals in the playoffs. I mean, this is a guy that not many people even knew who he was going into the playoffs. I mean, you know.
I'll give them 3 years. I'd like to see them win a cup within those 3 years. If they don't, I think they've not necessarily missed their chance because they're very good at getting prospects and their prospect pool is excellent. 3 years.
I'll do you one better. They will win a cup in the next 3 years.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
and yourself.
You know what? I'm going to go against you guys, and I still think New York might have a little bit in the tank. Even if they don't win this year, it might just be a retool that they'll be able to do because they do have some of the pieces. Unfortunately, if I don't want the Rangers to win. I think that's personal vendetta against them. I don't know why.
hate the Rangers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would love to see Henrik Lundqvist win a cup, but I don't think he's going to leave New York. So obviously, for that reason, I want to see them win because I want to see Henrik Lundqvist lift the cup.
And Rick Nash, I think he.
Yeah, and Rick Nash. I wouldn't
Nice
mind
to see
seeing
him win something.
And for the Ducks, we could see Ducks Hawks for the next 10 years.
No, because you're going to see Kings Hawks next year.
It's
you know what's happening. You know what's happening.
But no, that's the truth. Is Anaheim is so well manufactured. You know what? To be honest, I know it said last week that I was happy with Bobby Ryan at Ottawa, and I think he's a good fit there. But boy, oh boy, did Jakob Silfverberg have a breakout this year in the playoffs. And I was really, really happy with the way he played.
Yeah, he played really well against the Jets. It was awesome.
Yeah,
well, awesome.
He was good. Okay, into the Cup Final now.
Wait, we didn't wrap up a Hawks Ducks, did we?
Well, okay. What was the score in Game 7?
Well, Game 7 was 5-3. It was 4-0. It was 4-0 at the second intermission. There's a stat I just wanted to bring about the Hawks. Yeah. The Hawks improved to 32-0-0 when leading after 2 periods this season, regular season plus playoffs, including 7-0 during the playoffs. So if you're losing to the Hawks after 2 periods, factor in you're not winning. Yeah. Oh, and Brad Richards is the first player in NHL history to win 8 straight Game 7s. Straight Game 7. So every Game 7 he's been in, he's won.
Brad Richards also playing against a team that he grew up with. Starting the NHL with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, yeah. I'm in my mind, I'm like, the Ducks? What? What are you talking about? Oh, and guess what? Guess who got the second round pick? Thank you, Timo. Baby. Oh, yeah.
Question for you, actually. I don't know if you noticed. How many saves did Henrik Lundqvist have?
Shut the goddamn.
No, I'm asking. I don't know.
Chuck.
I don't know.
Stats guy.
Go. You check that as we start with the Cup Final between Tampa Bay Lightning and the Chicago Blackhawks. Tampa Bay trying to win their first cup in the new cap era, or in the salary cap era, but they won in 2004, so not really a long time ago since the last time they won. And, if Chicago wins, that'll just be 3 cups in 5 years.
Which is...
3 cups in 5 years.
Yeah, no, 3 cups
6 years. 6 seasons.
Is that a dynasty?
Yes.
Yes.
When you win 50% of the cups, yes, it is.
I just want to say, also, previously, before they started this dynasty, they only ever won 3 cups before that.
Yep.
So, drafting. Bravo.
How many saves
Thank
did he
you,
have?
Jonathan. Saves in Game 7.
He had 23.
Okay. Well, they lost. If he would have won a 35, I'm punching my way through that door.
And somebody made a great point, and they're like, everyone keeps talking about how Chicago's going to go on this downward spiral. Have you seen their prospects? Oh, yeah, Teravainen, and here you go. Oh, who else? It's a dime a freaking dozen for that team. It's just, okay, yep, here's more players. It's like seeing somebody with Tim Hortons coffee. That is guaranteed a Chicago Blackhawks prospect who's going to do well in the NHL. That's another Brandon Saad, Andrew Shaw, Brian Bickle. That's what they have. It's ridiculous.
They're the modern-day Detroit Red Wings, even though the Detroit Red Wings are still the modern-day Detroit Red Wings. Because they still make the playoffs every goddamn year. But Chicago is the new version of that.
In the Nick Leddy trade,
Yeah.
I'm just going way back, but in the Nick Leddy trade where they traded Nick Leddy
Yeah.
to New York Islanders, New York Islanders gave up one of the best, not just one of their best, one of the best defensive prospects in the trade. His name's Vili Polka. He was named to the AHL All-Rookie team as a defenseman. He led all... I think he was third in defenseman scoring in the AHL.
Great.
So, don't worry. If they have to move Seabrook, they'll be okay.
Or Drommelson.
Or who?
Drommelson.
Oh, that guy.
They're going to have to do something this summer.
Oh, they're going to do something.
That's what everyone says. But you know what? They'll do something, and then they'll just have another guy comes out of nowhere.
Everyone's waiting. They're like, oh, this Kane and Taves, it's a terrible contract. They should have taken hometown discounts. I was like, first off, $10 million or $10.5 million is a hometown discount. By the way, I think I know
Chicago's got a guy. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know there's like
They
not
got a
the
guy.
cap fee, but there's a cap friendly in a bunch of places. I was looking at one of them. They actually have I think it's $7 million signing bonuses. So their hits, I think only like 4, something like that. Like it's like the way they structured the contract. It's like, oh yeah, they get paid this, but their hits only this.
So the rest
It's
of
probably
the
like
league,
a Shea Weber.
It's like a Shea Weber contract.
so the rest of the league is screwed.
Basically.
Yeah, like they're probably everyone's saying they got to move either Sharp or Seabrook. They've been saying that for like 2 years now. Maybe we see this.
You know what?
I can see them dumping Sharp. He's been pretty quiet.
But it's not only that.
Year and a half.
They can get a good return for Sharp, and they have Teravainen, who's probably going to be the next Sharp. Not in that role, but like he's a good offensive skill forward.
Look at the contracts that they can sign. Like Brad Richards, $1 million for Brad Richards. We paid how much did Jim Slater make this year?
Like 1.4, 1.5.
Okay, we paid the same amount of money for Jim Slater as Chicago did for Brad fucking Richards. Are you getting mine?
And that's the thing. Like once you start winning, players will take that discount.
Richards
to come play
had
for
to
you.
take that though. I mean, he got bought out. He was the biggest bust in the last 10 years, quite frankly. So he had to take a small deal. One of the biggest busts in the last 10 years.
One of the biggest busts. I think the biggest bust in the last 10 years would be Rick DiPietro. That's my pick. Who's your pick, Greg? I know you had someone else in mind. Or DiPietro?
Biggest bust.
Biggest bust.
Biggest bust?
David Clarkson.
No, come on.
bad one.
Hold on.
That's a
only
bad
because
one.
of... That is a bad one, but it's...
You're forgetting Mike Commissaric, guys. Come on.
That's also a bad one. Jeff Finger. That's another bad one. Ron Hainsey. Another
Hold
bad
on,
contract.
shut the front door. We're going to glance over Davey Boland and the fact that they're probably going to have to give... They're probably going to go after Bolesky and give him a Dave Boland contract to get...
No, he's getting 12.
They have to spend $16 million to get to the cap floor. That's Florida. Have to spend $16 million to get to the floor.
16 million.
Yeah, and Dan made a joke earlier today. They're probably going to just give $5 million to Frolik and $5 million to Bolesky.
Well,
and
Frolik's already been there.
They'll still need to spend $6 million to get to the floor. Whoa.
Trade him Buffalo.
They're going to get paid.
Hey, man, I'd be down for the Bufflin trade for Barkov. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right, like they do that.
Okay, but we'll touch on that after
Yep.
we talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup Final, do our predictions.
Yeah.
And we're running short of time.
Yeah,
So let's get this
They
done.
play Wednesday, Saturday, Monday, rotating schedule. They start on the Wednesday.
Start this Wednesday, which is tomorrow,
they announced
or today, or
Yep.
yesterday, depending on when you're watching this.
A time. It started eventually.
June 3rd.
They're bringing back the TV spots. They didn't do it last year. 2015 Cup Final TV spot is called Name. What's in a name? And apparently it involves all the famous like Guy Lafleur. They even have Crosby, and it's what's in a name? Like the last one that was a handshake that they did.
Yeah.
It's not yours until your shit. I'm getting goosebumps. We're tweeting this. My favorite ones were Cup Raise 2010. No words.
That was
one
the
won
best.
an Emmy.
Did it?
That one won an Emmy.
That was so good.
Yeah.
And you just see Timo. And he's
No, I know every Winnipegger was like, I can't deal with. Shut the commercial off.
was
Why,
it
honey?
McCar-
What's wrong with it? Shut it off. I can't deal with this.
And it's crazy. Like, everyone's like, well, and it's 30 seconds of guys trying to say what it means to win the cup.
Yeah.
And they just can't. And it's
And
it's
Timo's
gotta
is,
be-
I think he's the one of the last ones, and he's just like, and he's crying, and
Yeah.
you're like, God, shut it off. I can't. The manhood. These are man tears coming
fall
out.
down, start crying.
Yeah, fetal position.
They could play the call from when Ray Borg lifted the Stanley Cup, and I'd watch that for.
Well, that was the
whole
cup
playoffs.
race. That was in the cup,
Yeah.
one of the cup races. Oh, it's so
That's like
good.
one of the best sound bites.
But so they announced that it's going to debut tomorrow, so I'm pretty jazzed about that. Or whenever game one starts. not a member as a player, but Stevie Y can join the Triple Gold Club as a GM, and he'd
Good
be
for
the
him.
first GM to do so.
Good for him.
And I know these are weird stats, but
Yep.
Marian Hossa his next playoff game, he's going to hit 191 games played, or 190 games played.
Good
He
for
has years on his contract.
So
Plays
he'll hit
for-
200.
He plays for the Hawks.
Yeah, so he'll
I
hit
can't
200.
wait until his career's over. Those
250 playoff
numbers
games.
are going to be, they'll probably.
How many did he have
I'm-
before he went to Chicago?
I don't know. He
Probably
went to
100.
he went to 3 back-to-back Cup Finals before he won,
That's true.
That's true.
and
okay.
I'm pretty sure he played a few of them. Oh
Yeah.
and just here's
And how could you forget 07? 4 best games of his career.
let's call back to the Atlanta Thrashers, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Dan brought this up. He's like, okay, if Conn Smythe winner. If doesn't matter, just Conn Smythe, doesn't matter what team wins. Who would you give to the Conn Smythe today?
Tyler Johnson.
Okay, who are you giving to?
TJ.
Who?
TJ.
Tyler Johnson too?
Yeah.
Okay, me. I'm giving it to
Well,
Duncan Keith.
Yes. And they would be the first team in NHL history, I believe. Or it's just one of those random things. that
Okay.
They win 3 cups in 6 years. All different Conn Smythe winners.
Well, look at this. I just want to most ice time among 2015 skaters in the 2015 NHL playoffs. First, Duncan Keith with 537 minutes and 4 seconds played. Victor Hedman, 468 minutes, 14 seconds.
That's
Do quick math on that. That is 668 minutes, 50 seconds more than number 2. He's played it over an hour more than everyone else.
playing an entire other game.
Well, yeah, that's
Everyone.
Well, I could credit that to the one game that went to triple overtime. He
Yeah.
played 51 minutes or something like that. Like
That's-
51 minutes.
And yes, I think that if
I want to give it to
If
TJ,
Chicago wins-
but I think
no.
either way, Keith gets
I think it all depends on what happens in this finals.
Yeah.
I think if Tyler Johnson comes out, scores 8 points, goes TJ.
Okay.
I think if Duncan Keith comes out and he shuts down the triplet line, goes Duncan Keith. I think if Chicago wins, it's Duncan Keith. If Tampa Bay wins, it's Tyler Johnson.
Now, I think the last one in my head would be J.S. Shiger, who won it when...
Yeah, that's the only one I can
What
think
team
of.
won it that year, though?
That was Detroit.
New Jersey.
No, New Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey.
I don't know why I
Do you
thought
think in any situation at all, would it be possible this
Duncan
year...
Keith could, yes.
If they go 7 games, but like the triplets only get like 5 points each.
It's not even that. I think if Duncan Keith
Just
plays the way Duncan Keith can play, I think
Yeah.
he could do it. And
Did he get
really-
nominated for Vezina? He didn't!
No, because he's a defenseman.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Damn, I look stupid.
No,
Norris.
no. You sound stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a Norris.
I
Did he
don't
get
think so.
Oh, no, it was crap this year. Well, no offense to the nominees.
It was crap.
It was Doughty, Carlson, Subban, right?
Doughty.
How the...
What?
Did he just have like a pedestrian?
Well, like,
I love the
still think
pedestrian line, by the way. But you still think...
out of all those players, he's the best defenseman.
Oh, yeah.
All those other guys are offensive. Duncan Keith's the only guy that I think you could take, I would say, of the top probably 10 defensemen in the league, and I don't care who you put in there. He's the only guy you could take and say, yeah, I'm going to build a team with him as the first guy I want.
It's always him or Shea Weber when I'm making an NHL team on
Exactly.
ESPN.
Quite
He's
honestly,
so good.
None of those 3 Norris Trophy candidates, I don't think any of them deserves to win it.
No, and
Well, nowadays we've talked about like the
I know,
integrity of the
yeah.
rules. Now it's like, oh yeah, you could score points, so that means here the people have talked about bringing in a new rule or a new award. Norris being for defensive defenseman or
Yeah.
defense, and then a Bobby Orr award for the defenseman who scores the most. Do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
and then
that's easy.
the Norris can be totally on its own. Sure, if you have an amazing season, then maybe you get both.
Mm-hmm.
But bring in a Bobby Orr award for the top scoring defenseman because that's basically what it's become.
And you know what? Honestly, the guys, the shitty thing is if there was a Norris 4 best defenseman, the 3 guys would probably rarely change. It'd be Duncan Keith, Shea Weber, and Ryan Suter.
Yep.
For the next I'll say for the next 3 to 5 years. I
Until
will say that.
Until a certain number.
Yeah, but if it
Until
continues,
a certain number 8.
but no, what I'm saying though is
Ovechkin.
that if
Yeah, got it.
he's converting to defense, that's the only plausible.
Oh,
He's gonna
solution.
play.
But sorry, go
He's
ahead.
gonna play such good 2-way hockey. They're gonna nominate him for the Norris Trophy.
He'll get nominated 3 positions for the All-Star team.
There
at
we
the end
go.
of the year.
And then just goalie for fun.
Yeah.
I don't think Trouba can ever win with the current. He'll never lead the defenseman in scoring. He's a defensive.
Not if it's going to go by points.
Defense-
No.
Yeah.
If it
Unfortunately, but I think he's a good enough defenseman to win it eventually. I could see it in
if it
down
goes
the
by
road.
points, Buffalo will win one before Druba does.
Yeah.
If it goes by points,
we'll
that's
get
just
to
what
that.
I'm not saying he's going to, but if that's how they're going to look at it, he has a better chance.
All right. Let's steer this back into the finals.
Are we going to do our picks?
We're going to do our picks.
Dan, go. Let us have it. Oh, by the way, we
Always
did, right
first.
before this podcast, we paid up Greg for winning conference finals. We still owe Dan fast food for winning. I won round one, which I was thinking about, by the way. Well, round one, the winner gets a Slurpee.
It's the hardest one to do.
And I don't think I've ever lost round one since Dan and I have started. I seriously don't think. I went
He
7-1.
always wins round one.
I always, and that's the hardest one. I was mop
It's fine.
shop
You
in
just
round
get
one.
the small one out of the way.
Yeah, and then I always lose.
Last year, I think I won conference finals and finals, and I'm going to do it again this
I've
year.
never won the Chinese food. Dan, go. Who
Too
are you
bad.
taking? Stanley
I
Cup
have to go
champion.
first. You guys go.
No, you're going
Fine,
first.
I have mine.
Okay,
I have
go.
my answer. Tampa in 6. I'm going with my OG pick. OG pick from before
Brendan Morrow?
3 days before playoffs
Oh,
started. I tweeted a picture. I made it at work. I was working real hard that day. And yeah, it was Tampa in 6, so I'm sticking with it. I'll be okay with Chicago, but I want a turning of the guard. Even though
who
Chicago
scores? Who's top scorer
in the series?
in the series?
Stamkos. I'm going to go Stamkos.
Daniel.
Oh, I have to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm torn. I keep going back and forth.
Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it, but I will do it.
I will go. I want to pick one thing, but then my gut's telling me to pick the other.
Always
Don't-
go with your gut.
My mind is telling me no, but my body
is telling me yes.
Yes. All right,
And then
that's
I
it.
just
I
thought
don't
of it.
want to.
Dan,
just do it.
say it. Spit it out.
Chicago in 6.
Greg, let us have it.
Tampa in motherfucking 7.
In 7.
7.
That
At
was going
home.
to be my pick, but
Oh, wait, I got Tampa on the road?
Yeah.
Damn it, fuck it. I don't care. That's
They
fine.
always, teams always win on the road. It's fine.
Yeah, unless you're LA who threw it. We're going to get to the ball. We're going to...
All I'm
One
gonna
day when
say-
we interview Gary Bettman, we're going to be like, we know.
all I'm
We
going to
know.
say, if Chicago wins the Cup next year, you know what's happening next year? LA's winning the Cup.
Yeah. If Chicago wins
Oh,
the
Oh,
cup
if
this
Chicago
year.
wins this year, LA gets it
It's
next
going to
year.
be the trading dynasties for, like, ever.
If
Hope
Chicago wins this year, that'll be 5 of the last 6 cup winners
Or from
are
the
for the
West.
West.
And who is the last East team?
Boston.
Oh, right. I was gonna say
I always
Pittsburgh.
think, I always neglect Boston because they play like an East team. Or a West more than East.
Wow.
I'm
you
off.
need a vacation.
I
You
You
really
need to
do.
go away.
Yeah, I need to get out of here. I need to just not watch
Speaking of
hockey.
that, we're going to touch on a couple of topics and
Let us
then
have
finish off the podcast.
Are we going to talk about the greatest signing in NHL history?
We'll talk about that
Go.
in a second.
Let us have it.
But first, before we get into that, I want to congratulate the Oshawa Generals on being this year's Memorial Cup champions. They beat Kelowna Rockets in the final in overtime. In actually a pretty entertaining game.
2-1.
2-1. There was a goal in the late in the third period that was called back because of a high stick. And it was kind of funny because the guy that scored it, he knew that he high sticked it. Everyone else was celebrating. He's just like, fuck me. And he just kind of stood there.
Damn it.
But luckily, Oshawa did come back and win. So they won, and I think it was OHL's first win since Windsor Spitfires won, and that was the year they had like Taylor Hall and
then the year before that, they had the same team. It was Taylor Hall, Ryan Ellis.
that was the guy on Vancouver was on that team as well. I just can't think of his name.
Tanev?
No, the forward. That guy. Yep.
Bo
I can't.
Horvat?
No, the other forward. Like we talked about him this year. He's kind of a fighter, but not really a fighter.
Cassian?
Oh, Cassian. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice call.
Yeah, snagged that one. Okay. That was the first time OHL's won, and WHL hasn't won in a QMJHL venue since like 2007 or something like that.
And the guy who...
And next year it'll be in Red Deer.
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, no, the player who scored, I forget his name, but 22, awesome, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
He scored both goals.
Good for him.
Yeah. I just want to say, since we're talking about this, he was on the losing team, but Josh Morrissey finishes his junior career.
Okay.
In the tournament, he had 1 goal, 4 assists in 5 games, 5 points, 14 shots on goal, +3. Doesn't matter. Here's his junior stats, finished his career. 70 goals, 149 assists for 219 points in 275 games as a defenseman.
Good for him.
That ain't half bad.
That's pretty good.
Yes. So
And then
Jets-
and then there's Nick Ehlers who had 275 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
By himself.
And Nick Ehlers. Yeah, that's it. It's the Nick Ehlers Mooseheads. Nick Ehlers drinks Moosehead. That's it.
Yeah.
That'll be the
Yeah.
name.
The Eelheads?
Could work. Could work.
Yeah. Okay, to move on now. The one loan signing of the day, Jeff Petrie signed with Montreal Canadiens for all the money because Montreal's like, we don't have any bad contracts. Let's start signing some.
Yeah, we didn't just rid ourselves of some. Yes, Jeff Petrie signs a 6-year extension, $33 million. That's $5.5 per. That's $250,000 less than we pay Tobias Henstrom.
Guys, let's be real here. Jeff Petrie, you got to work a little harder. Mike Babcock's still making more money than you. So I'm going to do all free agent signing.
Mike Babcock makes what a year?
6.5.
6.5. So that's a bar. 6.5.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So I'm just going to make fun of every player who makes
Here's
less than
another
that.
When we
signing.
announce the signings, we should have like a recording thing in the background that goes Babcock every time.
We should make one. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, go.
Connor McDavid at the draft combine coming up is going to sign a endorsement deal with CCM or Reebok CCM.
Okay, cool. Good for them.
The contract is going to be $1 million per year. I just want to say Connor McDavid's already made $250,000 from them for his 3-year deal in junior. So it'll be $1 million per.
So they're going to have Crosby and McDavid.
It's the second highest paid endorsement deal in the NHL behind Sidney Crosby, who makes $1.4 million.
What if he just sucks?
Hold on.
I really hope he does. Just Edmonton's just gonna.
It'll be the first ever rookie signing. It'll be the first ever $1 million baby for an endorsement in the NHL. He's gonna make more. His contract per year, if he gets a max, is $832,500, and then he could make up to, and then a $92,500 signing bonus.
Yeah.
With performance bonuses, he could make up to $2.85 million a year. But that's like $1 million just to be like, yeah, I'll wear your equipment.
Third of his contract.
He'll make, on paper, he's making more
Yeah.
by doing that.
That's scary.
But however, agents on contracts take home 2 to 4% on contract, but on endorsements, they take home 20%.
Oh, wow.
So he's technically still going to get paid more, but that is unbelievable. Dan Bosma hired coach at Buffalo Sabres.
Dan Bosman, the new coach of Buffalo Sabres, and some guy in New Jersey.
John Hines, former coach of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, former head coach of the past 5 years, is the new coach of the Devils. Where's the connection? Oh, wait, found it, Ray Shero. Funny, too. Ray Shero
reached out to Dan Bylsma to get the New Jersey job as well.
Did he?
And Dan Bylsma elected to go for Buffalo because that is more favorable, as Buffalo is already starting that rebuild transition, and New Jersey is probably going to have to realize that they have to enter it in the next 5 years. Go ahead.
They have to end the senior tour.
Yeah, they have to.
Before they can...
Can you name the captain of New Jersey Devils?
Patrick Iliash.
No.
Jamie Langenbrunner.
Bryce Salvador.
Nice, nailed it.
Is it Bryce
Go
Salvador?
Winnipeg
Seriously,
boy.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Is it seriously? Yeah. When your captain is
Could
that,
be worse.
you
Could be
shouldn't
Michael
be-
Ryder.
Do they have both Giantas? Both Steven and Brian?
Brian is the captain
Brian's
of Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's where Dan Bosman went there, obviously. He's like, no, I want old man Giannis, not young man Giannis. Get out of town. There's a picture of Bosman talking to Kane, and the comments below were just ridiculous. It's like, one of them was like, oh, Bosma likes Kane now because he's not on the ice. There's no locker room. It's just showing him in the... They're real terrible, but God, sometimes if you want to laugh at people making themselves look like a-holes, read comments. Just comments. It's absolutely horrendous.
Okay.
I just want to bring up one more thing. I know we missed it last week. It's not a real big deal, but Guy Lafleur went on record by saying, they asked him, who do you think the next captain of the Habs should be? And he said, Brendan Gallagher should be the next captain of the Habs because I don't think it should be the highest score or the flashy defenseman. Brendan Gallagher shows up night in and night out. He puts in work, and he sets a good work ethic for everyone else, which I've seen some players pack it in, and I'm pretty sure when he means some players, he means PK Subban, Max. Who do you, if you had to pick, who would you elect to be the new captain?
I know it hasn't worked in the past.
You're
Okay.
gonna put Carey Price? Shut up! Real?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Okay.
If not Carey Price, then yes, Brendan Gallagher. I think.
Oh, you put Gallagher?
Honestly, I don't know of another guy you can name on that team.
You wouldn't put
Maybe-
it on Subban or Patches?
No. Neither of them are real leaders. I don't think.
No, yeah, I agree.
The only other guy I could say is Markov, but I don't know his connection in the room. I don't know how guys feed off him very well.
I would say maybe even Buchanan's, but I don't know how they feel.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say I don't know how they feel about European captains, but
I'd say Buchanan, but honestly, I go with Greg. Carey Price.
Wow, really, eh?
He's the team. If they don't have him,
you can have a water bug in Gallagher, but if you don't have Price, you don't have Gallagher.
If they had Pavlik,
if you don't have Price, you don't have playoffs. If they don't have anything in Montreal.
If they had Pavlik instead of Price, they wouldn't even be close to the playoffs.
I wonder how many players realize that in Montreal. That if they didn't have Price, they wouldn't be nearly as good as they are. Because Montreal fans don't realize.
How do you think the Rangers feel? How do you think the Kings
Every
feel?
team has a player like.
How do you think Boston feels?
What team is a team in the NHL? Just rattle off the top of your head that doesn't have like that like. Man, if we didn't have this guy, we would suck. What team is like
Tampa.
way well-rounded?
Chicago.
Tampa.
Okay, sorry, yeah, because they need Bishop.
I would even say Stamkos is.
They went there without Stamkos last year. They still won without Stamkos last year.
Okay,
but
Chicago.
because of Bishop.
But yes, okay.
Chicago.
You take away.
You can take Corey Crawford and put anyone in there. And that team
I'm not
will
talking
win.
not just goalie.
No, I'm not talking just goalie. Like you're saying,
New Jersey.
Okay, what's the question?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Or Buffalo.
Hey,
New Jersey or Buffalo.
We're saying
I
like.
thought the question was like
No.
Their goalie's not the sole factor.
whole like a player on a team. Like what team is so well rounded that you take away one of their star players and they're still like damn good or good. They can
good.
compete.
So New Jersey can't apply.
No, New Jersey's a great one though.
So you take away one of their stars and they're still just as good.
Yeah.
You're gonna say
maybe
Winnipeg.
Florida. Winnipeg's a good one though.
Winnipeg would fit the bill, but they're better.
The fact that they're entertaining trades allegedly, well, not alleged. The number for Dustin
You could
Byfuglien.
potentially say Dallas. They still did well without Tyler Seguin, but I think that's a tough one to say. You could probably say LA.
But
because
then
even without Quick, Martin Jones still stepped in.
Yeah.
Even without Doughty, they still have Muzzin
and even with the other guys that you name, like Chicago, it's like, yeah, you take away one guy because they have like five. And so then again, you know what? I think far and away the winner is New Jersey. It has to be. The only thing that I would say, if there's
take out of Henrique, it's not that big of a deal.
No, you know what? I'm going to take away their Achilles tendon. Corey Crawford. Now who's in net? Kevin Conn.
For who?
Jersey.
Corey Crawford plays for Chicago.
Geez, I meant Schneider. I'm out.
Go on a vacation.
Today. Yeah, go on a vacation. Get out of here.
Obviously, we've gone through a lot today. Cam clearly needs a vacation. He clearly needs to also be kicked off the podcast. So, Cam, thank you for your time over the last almost a year.
This is it, eh?
We look forward to seeing you.
Do you have any last words?
We look forward to seeing you in year 2.
Yeah.
On a trial basis, though. You have to bring something to the table.
I have to earn it again. Or no, I have to earn it, period.
Yeah, you just do.
Well,
we're putting you on forward unless you show something. You're never playing defense again.
That's fine. If I have closing words, since I won't be here for my favorite episode and our 1-year anniversary episode, it's Flyers. If you don't draft Ivan Provorov, you better give me Mikko Rantanen or Lawson Krause. And if you trade up, you damn well put Luke Schenn in that trade. I don't want to see Luke Schenn in a Flyers uniform ever again.
I just want to do a Flyers report.
Don't you dare. I could call it. You know what we could do? I could call Dan, put me on speakerphone during the draft just for my reaction. Once the draft happens, when you're doing the podcast, put me on speaker and I'll be like, yeah, this guy, he's looking good. You know what? If we don't draft Provorov, Rantanen, or Krause, don't call me. Just swear on it. Just start the podcast with a fuck, piss.
No, I already know how I'll start that podcast if they don't draft any one of those guys. Just laughing.
Yeah, no, start it off with laughing.
No, let's be honest. Toronto's going to be like, hey, so we traded down, but we had to trade one of our own guys to trade down in the draft. We're now picking 14th and 24th. That was our plan. That's what Toronto's going to do because they're not going to make the right pick at 4.
We're going to pick 14th and 24. Why? Because there's 2 4s in both numbers, so it just makes sense.
2 4s instead of 1 4 is always better, am I
right, guys? And there's a 1 in front of one of the 4s, and 1's the best number you can get, so I mean, come on.
They're already drafted 4th.
2 is the best.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dad's logic is great here. I like it because it's true. I mean, there's a 1 and then a 2 4, so I mean, it's great. We get 2 instead of 1, and there's a 1 and 1 and 1 of our 4s, yeah.
I'm sure that we can get 34.
And I can show up late.
Oh, wait, that is our draft pick. Oh, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4. We already have all those draft picks.
What's the most draft picks one team's had in a round ever? Do you know?
7. Oh. Yes.
In one single round or in a
One
draft
round.
year? Well, my guess. I'm
one
gonna
draft
say-
year, it's ridiculous because of that 1 year where it went to like 37 rounds.
You know what? I'm just gonna guess. No, just in a single
Just
round.
one round.
Oh, just
I'm
one
gonna
round?
say
on
this year
draft.
Buffalo. I think they have 3 in round 1. Nope, that's a lie. They traded one to the Jets.
Jets have 2 in round 1. No,
Yeah.
I think like 5 in a round is
Okay.
like max. Not max,
Is there
but I
a
think
cap
that's
of
the
how
record.
much you can have?
No. You can literally trade everything you want.
Get every pick.
All the picks.
That'd be a rough rebuild.
That'd be a really rough. You know what? I think
You're
Toronto's got
drafting
no.
15 centers, 5D, 5
Be really wary if Detroit's like, okay, we're gonna trade for like 6 5th-round picks. We got this, because all those 5th-round picks will be NHL.
You know what that means? They're winning the cup in like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Okay, guys. For all of us, we thank Cam for his service over the last year. He's obviously made the show run, and I'm gonna take over the editing. So, yeah. It's gonna be better. There's gonna be sounds. Like,
Any
boom,
The write-up-
pow.
The write-ups on the
Anytime.
podcast are going to be like, it's recorded. That's it.
It has been done.
Here, guys.
No, you know what? I'm just gonna put spoilers to really big movies, like really big movie spoilers,
Oh,
like
in the write-up?
Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader.
No, it isn't it. It's no, I am your father. Not Luke, I am your father.
Whatever.
Boom, nailed it.
Same shit.
Spoiler alert. That's the new podcast is actually about movies now. It's not sports.
Yeah,
Last Man
that
In.
was our big
Our front.
reveal for year 2 is we're moving into the movie sector. We've tried sports, we test the water.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
Things went
movie
well.
critics, which
And-
means we're gonna hate everything.
That's
That's
why
why we're
we're-
pessimistic people.
That's
in the
why
world.
we're
Can
bringing
I-
in
can
a
I-
new person.
Can I be the guy to review chick flicks? Because I hate chick flicks, and they always send the wrong people to review the right movies. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're an old man. Yeah, can you go watch this teenage
Pitch
comedy
Perfect.
film? Yeah, like
Perfect.
go watch Pitch
Oh,
Perfect."
you're 62 and really senile? Go watch Pitch Perfect. You'll love it. Oh wait, you can't hear music? It's fine. You'll like it.
Yeah, you'll
like-
love the sound of music.
I still my favorite.
You find Anna Kendrick attractive? Go. No, you're not going to see Pitch Perfect. We're going to make you go see.
Brokeback Mountain.
It's the only reason I go.
Boom. There you go.
But you sorry.
The best line I've seen from a movie review lately.
You have
was
night terrors. Go watch Insidious 3.
one person like you know how they always like a general summary of a movie. It was for Dumb and Dumber 2, and they're like, "Well, it was stupid. It's called Dumb and Dumber 2.
Really missed
It's
opportunity.
supposed to be stupid."
Missed opportunity. They should have wrote it was the dumbest.
Yeah,
Because then it
like,
could have been double, like dual noted. Be like, oh, that was bad, but
if you went to a movie
Dumbest.
called Dumb and Dumber expecting a serious movie with a good story, just quit
Ixnay.
life.
all right.
Quit
Special
life.
words for you. So we will see you sometime next week with a special guest. And that's all we have for this
West.
week. For episode 46,
Cam, get
45.
that god awful orange shirt out of here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Hope you guys could hear this
2014
properly.
draft ad because
guys.
I'm on the team.
Cam, I'm trying to wrap it up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm a free agent now.
Yeah, you are. Go exercise your option too. What? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Just repent.
10th row.
No, but thank you for your time, Cam, and I will now carry the ship.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, you're no longer invited to these.
Good. I'm glad.
Enjoy your from the Last Man In podcast family. Enjoy your trip.
I'm gonna call in. I'm calling in on one of them. You tell me when we're recording.
Yeah,
I'll call in.
I will totally tell you.
Wait,
when we're recording.
guys. I'm out in the wild among Canuck fans. Everything's burnt.